Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go? Everybody like, hey.
Wow. You know, I gotta say, we've really come a long way. There was a point in time where I said I was never gonna do anything Fortnite related on any of my channels ever. And yet, here we are. What is up, guys? Soul here, welcome back to my story mode, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Fortnite and some of the ideas that I've had for crossovers. If you've seen the title, you know what this is. This is the video game edition of crossovers that I'd love to see happen in Fortnite. And this is just a sit-down discussion kind of deal, so I'm just going to be talking off the top of my head, kind of, I got some notes here, but I want to give you guys, put these ideas in your heads, you know what I mean? These are some fun ideas that I think would be really cool to have for Fortnite. So grab a Coke, grab your dinner, whenever you're watching this or whatever, sit down, relax, and let's just have a civil discussion. Or maybe uncivil, if y'all want to argue about it as to why any of these ideas might be impossible or just ridiculous or foolish, at least be civil about it. Don't actually attack anybody or me, please. They're just fun ideas. If you think they're dumb, cool. If you don't, let's talk about it, because these are ideas that excite me, because after this previous battle pass with the Marvel crossover event, I've been having a lot of fun. This has been so much fun. I've been enjoying myself a lot, and I can't wait to... I'm very determined to actually get through the battle pass and reach level 100. And they're holding off some events that we can't even get to until the end of the month of September. We can't even play as Wolverine right now. And you know what? It adds to the longevity, It's gonna keep me coming back. Like, once that lock is gone and everything, I'm gonna work my ass off to get my hands on Wolverine. All right, using his claws to cut down trees for freaking supplies, for anything like that. I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I'm super excited for that. So anyway, as I said, I don't know what time it is for y'all, but why don't we go ahead and sit down, relax, and talk about some ideas that I've had for crossovers in Fortnite. So I have some very realistic ones that I'm excited for that could possibly happen, and I also have some unrealistic ones that I think would just be fun. Ones that would definitely never, ever, ever, ever happen, but I think it would be neat regardless. So some of you may not be a fan of some of these ideas, maybe some of you will, but irregardless, why don't we start hopping into it? So one of the first things I want to knock out here is the idea of a Fortnite and Assassin's Creed crossover. This is one of those things where I'm just surprised it hasn't happened yet. Like, Assassin's Creed has been everywhere. I've seen a bunch of different crossovers regarding Assassin's Creed, and me personally, I've only really played Assassin's Creed 3 and a little bit of 2. I'm not a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, but come on, like, everything about Assassin's Creed just kind of works for a crossover for Fortnite. Like, that would be sick. You know what I mean? There's really nothing stopping them from probably getting their hands on that. You know what I mean? Especially with that more recent Assassin's Creed game that came out recently. I don't know how well that did, but Assassin's Creed is big in the, is big in general. You know what I mean? Assassin's Creed is not something that should be slept on or ignored. People know Assassin's Creed. So I just believe that this is something that should have happened already. Like, I'm just genuinely surprised we haven't seen an Ezio costume or something like that, like just in the shop or something, just something, What's his name? The main character's name is like Desmond. Like, I'm so surprised we haven't seen anything like that yet. I'm just in awe. Like, I'm just very impressed. But irregardless, I don't have many ideas on that, but at the very least, I'd love to see an Ezio costume in the shop. Love Ezio. I forgot what his name was from Assassin's Creed 3, but I would be 100% for it. I think that would be really cool, and I feel like we'd be really, really fitting. All right, moving down the list here, I'm gonna save my favorite for last. So what I'm gonna move on next to is actually Fortnite x Halo. Now, I don't even play Halo that hefty, but a Master Chief skin? Tell me that wouldn't be the slick... Do you know how many people would never take that sucker off if we had that? If we're talking like a minor crossover, I'd love to see a Master Chief skin and an energy sword pickaxe. That's the very least of what I'm asking for here. I don't know what you could do as far as a back bling. I really don't know. But as far as, Master Chief, I feel like that energy sword pickaxe would be the slickest thing in Fortnite. That would be sick. Hell, if you want to if you want to talk a bigger crossover, turn that into a weapon like you did with the lightsaber or the umbrella. Turn that into something huge, you know what I mean? If we're talking big, why don't we go ahead and throw some of those grunts that walk around, those really ugly little grunts that walk around in Halo. You know what I mean? Those little guys that you fight. Again, I'm not really all that versed in Halo. Tell me what ideas you guys might have if you have anything like that. But me personally, I don't know Halo all that well. But even then, I would still love to see this happen. This is something that I would, even as a PlayStation Nintendo fan, more than an Xbox fan, would still love to see. I think people are at least decently versed enough in Halo to appreciate a crossover with that. Moving right along here, this idea was actually pitched to me by a friend of mine, and he said that he would love to see a Metal Gear crossover in Fortnite, which is something I had never considered. And thinking about it a lot, sitting on this for a minute, I can totally see this happening. This is a crossover that's more than possible. Metal Gear has been quiet for a little bit now, but you know, who cares? You know what I mean? Metal Gear is such a big series, and this crossover would be so fitting, it's not even funny. Like, obviously, I'd want them to really, you know, do the skin justice for Big Boss, but overall, it's not something that I think is out of their ballpark. I think this is more than in their range. You know what I mean? They already have some explosives that we could use. They already have a lot of different mechanics that we could utilize at, you know, in regards to Snake, like flying some things around here and there. You know, maybe riding in some of those, are they called Metal Gears? I forgot what the names of those machines are, but controlling Metal Gears around the map would be crazy. I mean, we have superpowers right now in the Marvel crossover. Why not have big fat ass Metal Gears that we could ride around in? I don't know what they're called. I actually don't know what those robots that they ride around in sometimes are called. I don't know if that, I can't even remember what games those are in, because I only played really 3 and Phantom Pain. So I got to do some research on that. However, oh, and I also played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and honestly, a Raiden skin, bro, that sword as a pickaxe would make me wet. Excuse my language, but that would make me tight. Oh my goodness, that would make me so happy to see Raiden's sword in Fortnite. I would never take that thing off my back if it were a back bling, and if it's a pickaxe, Lord help me, because I will never stop killing folks with that sword. Oh my goodness. And a Raiden skin? Don't even get me started, bro. That's gonna be one of my 3 go-to skins. Alright? No joke. I would love to see a Metal Gear crossover. Whether it be with Big Boss, with Raiden, and if we're gonna have like a big crossover besides just skins, then give us some Metal Gears to ride around in, maybe some grunts and stuff like that that could take over like they have at Doom's Domain right now, and something, you know, stuff like that. Something along those lines would make me ecstatic. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Don't even, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And we probably shouldn't ignore the possibilities of stuff like, you know, Liquid Snake and Revolver Ocelot and stuff like that. There's so many characters that they can actually grab from to utilize. What's her name? Actually, no, never mind. They would not use Quiet. I mean, unless they gave her something to cover up a little bit, but you know, there's a lot of kids that play Fortnite, so actually Quiet would not be the wave, I don't think. However, Revolver Ocelot and stuff like that would be incredible. All the different variations of Snake would be so nice to use as skins. I love the idea. I love the concept. If it happens, I think a lot of us would be pretty damn excited. Now, looking at my list here, I'm starting to realize that, you know, a lot more of these are more unrealistic than I realized. So I'm shoving a couple of these down into the unrealistic section, and I'm going to move on to my final most realistic one that, honestly, I could see happening in the near future, and that's a BioShock x Fortnite crossover. Oh my god. Walking around in that underwater city like they did kind of with the Coral Reef or whatever they did, that's they did for the Aquaman crossover, I feel like it's more than possible. However, as far as BioShock, I would love to get a Big Daddy skin or something like that. I would love to see a Big Daddy skin. And hell, if we want a crazy, unique, animated pickaxe, give us that drill hand, dude. If not the drill hand, then that hook thing from BioShock Infinite that Booker DeWitt uses. Give us a Booker DeWitt skin, by the way, and an Elizabeth skin. Both of those would bang. Bang. I'm telling you, bro. I think the most likely crossover would be Fortnite and BioShock Infinite. because I mean, Big Daddies are kind of sizable, you know, and I think they could focus more on like a lot of the world and stuff like that. If they were to grab from BioShock Infinite, they could grab a lot of the weapons. They could grab, like, you know, Booker DeWitt and Elizabeth's costumes or their skins, and utilizing maybe other forms of like enemies and stuff like that from their world would be incredible. It would be absolutely incredible. However, I would not be opposed to a BioShock 2 crossover with the Big Daddy and the drill hand, and I don't know what they would do with the little sisters. Hopefully nothing. I don't want the little sisters involved at all. Keep them out of Fortnite. That's fine. But I will gladly take a Big Daddy skin or a Big Daddy boss battle. All right, Big Daddies are one of the sickest things that I've ever seen. But that might just because I think that's because I'm into the whole drill hand concept. I've always loved stuff like that. So that's just me. But I digress. I think the most likely thing to happen would be a BioShock Infinite Fortnite crossover, because the skins would be easy. The pickaxe would be easy. The back bling, I'll have to get back to you on that one, because again, that's another one of those things I just can't. I don't even know what they would do with that. But I think it's more than possible, and it's very likely, because they're already in good with 2K since they already made the whole Borderlands crossover. So I can't see why not reach out to them again and be like, hey, BioShock Infinite's, you know, still pretty, you know, I mean, no, it's more or less dead. But what y'all think? What y'all think about that? That's very fitting to us. That's very fitting to Fortnite. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I would never take that Booker DeWitt skin off. And don't even get me started on that hook thing that he uses to kill enemies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't even get me started. I'ma go off. So that's it for my, you know, realistic ones. And if you want to tune out after this, I don't even blame you, because all of this next stuff that I'm going to be talking about is completely unrealistic ideas that I would never expect, ever. Now, regarding these next couple crossover ideas, none of them are more likely than the other or anything like that. They're all equally as non-likely as the other. So I'm just going to be talking about the ones that I want to talk about. So the first one that I actually wanted to get started with, because it's probably the most exciting, and never mind. There is no likelihood. The first one that I wanted to talk about was a possibility of a Legend of Zelda one. Now, again, I know that's excessive, and I know it sounds stupid to a lot of Fortnite players out there, like, oh, Nintendo, whatever. No, I personally think a Zelda crossover would be extravagant? Wow, tell me what that means. No, extravagant. I would love to see Boblins running around as bots. You gotta kill them. There's probably one section, instead of like Weeping Woods, it would be Lost Woods, and you could go in there, first come, first serve. Whoever gets the Master Sword gets the Master Sword. At full health, it shoots the beams like it would, you know, in Fortnite, you know how you shoot a gun. You would aim the sword, and instead of like throwing it or something like that, you would shoot off a beam if you're at full health with the full shields and everything like that, and then you could use the sword as a regular weapon, kind of like how we used the umbrella or the lightsabers, and I think that would be very neat. You know, I think Hyrule Castle wouldn't be too crazy of something to have in replacement of where Doom's Domain is as of now. That would be sick. And Ganon sitting at the top of that castle with his abilities and his power would be crazy, you know. And he has projectiles too. He does have a sword, and he does have projectiles. You know, he has that ball of light that he shoots at you at the end of Ocarina of Time. I'm sure a lot of you don't know what I'm talking about, but he's not a foe to be messed with. Okay, so I think that would be a lot of fun to fight him as a bot in the castle, and then the Boblins running around, maybe with their own weapons or whatever, because they do use bow and arrows and stuff like that, which is, you know, a little weird for Fortnite, but I don't think it's that crazy. We do have a bow and arrow explosive, which is something that's in Breath of the Wild, so I think that would be kind of neat. Not gonna lie to y'all. So I don't think it would be all that crazy. And a Link and a Ganon skin, and maybe even a Zelda skin, would be kind of neat, although the unrealistic part is seeing them running around with Glocks and SMGs and stuff like that. It would be kind of weird to look at, but I think it would be fun irregardless. So that's my take on a crossover with Legend of Zelda and Fortnite. Next up on the, I guess the Nintendo list here, And I think the last one on my Nintendo list here is actually Fortnite X Metroid. I think a Metroid crossover would be sick, you know, considering the fact that it is one of Nintendo's primary FPS games, and as a shooting game, I think it would be a very neat crossover. I could totally see a Samus skin, you know, and I don't think it would be all that crazy to see her running around with any kind of gun. You know, she does use like a paralyzer in Smash Brothers, you know, and it looks like a regular old weapon. Hell, Captain Falcon has a weapon on his hip, but irregardless, Joker uses it. No, irregardless, who cares? Irregardless, seeing Samus running around with guns wouldn't be all that unrealistic to me, and being able to use her cannon thing that she has on her suit would be crazy. We could have something like how we have for the transformations on the skins, like how we have for Thor, for She-Hulk, for Iron Man and stuff like that. I don't think a transformation from regular Samus to full suit Samus would be all that crazy. You know, I could totally see that happening, and getting her weapon would be the sickest thing. I would be so happy and pleased to be able to carry around that arm cannon that she's got locked and loaded, bro. I would be very appalled, very pleased with that. And I guess as far as like a bigger crossover, if we're not just doing skins, weapons, and stuff like that, then I could totally see little Metroids flying around, stuff like that. You shoot those little nasty brains down, you get some weapons out of them or whatever. And then as far as maybe, you know, an event of something or something like that, in place of that boss that we had a couple seasons ago, I think it would be cool to have like Ridley. I really would like to fight like Ridley Airborne, big old Ridley, because he's a big boy. You know, I don't think him as a skin would be very realistic. I think that would be kind of ridiculous, and seeing him running around with weapons would just be foolish. However, a boss fight against him using only Samus's cannon blasters, that would be amazing. You know, the rockets that she's got going on, I'd be ecstatic. All right, so that's my take on a Fortnite Metroid crossover. And again, this is not something I would ever see, but I think it would be a lot of fun. Now, I did have one final idea, but as I was thinking about it, I've decided that it would not work out as well as I initially thought, and that would be a Fortnite X Mega Man crossover. Now, like I said, I no longer want this, because trying to think about it, that Mega Man costume would look so stupid. I mean, I'd still buy it probably, but it would be so stupid looking on the Fortnite characters, okay? And then, as far as the enemies and bots, I guess they could be just, you know, Dr. Wily's little robot army and stuff like that. Maybe you could go around fighting the big boss robots and stuff like that, which would be kind of neat. But it's such a reach. That one's the biggest reach for me, even more than Zelda, surprisingly. So I actually no longer want this crossover to happen, and you can completely just disregard that I've said any of this. So let's go ahead and do that. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it off on this note. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. And if you want more like this, let me know what else you guys want me to talk about. If you guys have had any crossover ideas for Fortnite that you guys have wanted regarding movies or games or whatever, let me know. I'm actually very curious. I want to talk about this kind of thing. Just let me know what you guys thought about it. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle. I want to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.